Hey everybody, I want to welcome you to the 50th episode of the Get Your Geek On podcast for the week of August 25th, 2017. I'm your host, Chuck Hewatts.
Robert Dokes.
Anthony Arsenio.
And we are celebrating 50 episodes of Getting Your Geek On. So guys, 50 episodes in. We're a little more into a year, but this is our 50th episode, and that's not counting our commentaries. This is 50 actual Get Your Geek On weekly shows. Quite an accomplishment, so I want to thank you guys for being along for the ride.
Congratulations, boys. We did it.
Seriously, that's no joke. That's a nice number to get to. But
I think so, yeah.
Really excited to see what we do going forward. But really, really happy to have everybody back. It's been a couple weeks off, and we have got a ton to get to. So we want to jump in right off the bat here with talking Defenders, because, Anthony, we only touched a little bit about it in our quick show because we wanted to get together. What are your thoughts on this? I gave it a solid C. I thought it was very mediocre for what they've built up to. Robert loved it a little bit more than I did. He's watched it 3 times.
I watched it 4 times.
Oh, now he's 4 times.
No, I watched it 4 times previously. I wasted 32 hours of my weekend watching it. And
would you give it a B?
No, it's a C+ for me.
Ooh. See, I'd give it a B because I just really loved all the Daredevil bits.
See, that's the thing. It's first of all, Daredevil was made to be way too much of like the powerhouse person that everyone's afraid of. But more than anything, we just didn't feel like this was the culmination of 40 hours of television.
No, it really didn't. No. It kind of felt like
it was really disjointed.
Whoops, they accidentally met up.
Well, we compared it to the Avengers. Like, we got all those Phase 1 movies, and then the Avengers felt like the culmination of all those movies, getting the team together. This never felt that. It takes 4 episodes for them to even become a team. They have 3 fights together the entire time. And then the whole Iron Fist thing was just so unbelievable. First of all, we couldn't even figure it out. He killed the dragon in Kunlun. How is it in New York? And then what's the whole thing with the Iron Fist can seal a door, and that's why we need him to unseal it. Like, I would have just so much poor writing. The only thing that we thought that they got good out of there was the Heroes for Hire stuff.
Also, he's terrible.
Dude, he was terrific on this past
So
week.
I haven't seen a single episode of Iron Fist, so I honestly had no idea what to expect from this kid.
You've not seen the... So,
dude,
okay.
It's so
I had no interest.
Okay, so think of like... All right, so I understand the reason why they have him do this, because he continues to be this character of a... Because remember, he had this plane crash when he was 10, and so his life... Psychologically, he still thinks like that, even though the world is completely changed around him. But yet he acts.
He can't act. I think that's the problem. It's
Yeah,
like he doesn't emote at all.
It's like I don't know if it's the character or what. It's just like I guess
him.
He's also just a terrible fighter. It's just like, oh, this guy's the sworn protector of a country that's gone.
And can you talk about somebody that hypes themselves up more? I am the immortal Iron Fist.
The what
Takes
now?
a lot to summon my chi.
I loved anytime he said that. Luke would just be like, oh.
That's the only thing we think the guys do is the Heroes for Hire stuff. And like we said in the show,
They have great chemistry together.
Screw doing Luke Cage season 2 and Iron Fist season 2. Just do Heroes for Hire.
Yeah.
just do Heroes for
Get
Hire.
it right.
And then we were talking because there's been no announcement of like a Defenders 2 or anything
No,
like
there
that.
is. They're doing season 2.
So they are going to do a season 2?
They're doing a season 2.
Now our question is going forward. What do you do in Jessica Jones season 2, Luke Cage season 2? These characters need to pop up more. It can't be this whole thing of like, you know these people exist, but you're not going to make a
They're
phone call.
friends now.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I mean, even outside of that, like the chemistry, what I enjoyed most about this, and we're rehashing it from the last show, is continued to enjoy the chemistry because I felt that I almost lost when I saw Luke Cage. I felt that they lost that kind of chemistry that he had going to Jessica Jones because it just went completely off the rails at one point for me. But when they got back together, I was like, yes, this is the guy. They got like that in the interaction with him and the Iron Fist. Daredevil's the only one that felt like odd man out, but because he's Daredevil, he's used to being like he doesn't have sidekicks, he doesn't have these relationships.
He really doesn't want to.
That was the only thing. Only Daredevil's like side players were actually like involved in this. Really didn't like how they forced the Daughters of the Dragon stuff with Misty Knight and Colleen. Like taking Misty's arm was just way too forced for that. They didn't have
I'm glad she lost her arm.
I am like it's happy to see it going forward, but I just didn't feel like Elektra was all that like. I don't like the actress. I really don't.
What really bothered me the most was they gave it the Luke Cage villain treatment where they set up this huge villain and then she's dead.
They cast Sigourney Weaver
they cottonmouthed her. I didn't want to say that last week.
Didn't even have powers.
She did nothing.
It was like they cottonmouthed her, and it's like it was just
Cottonmouth at least killed people.
I feel like all Sigourney Weaver did was defend the fact that she was the boss. I'm the boss. I'm not dead.
Yeah, I mean, like the idea is you have Bakuto coming back, which that's a character that you didn't see in Iron Fist. So the guy who's like Bakuto, which another guy it's like your creepy uncle that your parents don't want you really spending a lot of time with, and then and then Madame Gao, who I just absolutely.
Can they not explain like how she booted a door open that had a dumpster in front of it? You know what I really thought they were going to do? What they were setting up with those 4 people? I thought that they were going to be the previous Iron Fists.
No,
and I thought that would have been incredible. Right?
Exactly. Well, the problem is where we say disjointed, because the idea is that when we talk about, and again, this is stuff that we said in the last episode, was
I didn't say that in the last episode about the Iron Fists.
No, so there was no building to this. There was no build. There was just the hand, and you saw
it was Daredevil. That was pretty much it.
That was pretty much it. Daredevil and Iron Fist are what set this. It didn't even set this up. It just says the hand's a thing. And
my thing is, going forward, what are we going to do? They set Daredevil up perfectly with the Born Again storyline for season 3. Jessica Jones, I felt, was the most wasted in the Defenders. Like, Jessica Jones, in my opinion, is the strongest of all the individual Netflix shows. So to see what they did with her in the Defenders, I didn't like it.
They have the best writing for her.
But I don't like what they did with her in the Defenders. I thought she was way too bitchy. Like, it wasn't the human side to her that you see, and she really never uses her powers.
Yeah, well, it's a disjointed thing. I still enjoyed it because I liked the chemistry between the actors, but at the same time, I just
for me it was too disappointing.
I did like it.
Yeah.
The one thing they got right was 8 episodes.
Thing sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it was short.
Yeah.
I am not glad that there was only 4 episodes of the Defenders, and there was 4 episodes of basically where are we at now. Yeah. That could have been done in an episode.
In a 2-second opening montage.
Yeah. I didn't like that all the fight scenes were in the dark.
Rosario Dawson not featured nearly enough for me.
Yeah, she's a good looking one.
Not even that, but just like she was the connective tissue through all these, so you would have thought she's the one that brings everyone together. Like,
I just loved everything that was Daredevil. That was so
Daredevil
awesome.
was the highlight of that for me.
Yeah,
but then this Iron Fist in his tracksuit at the end, come on. Seriously, people?
They all have such good chemistry together, though. Like, all 4 of them.
See,
they all do well together.
They do, but it's I think that they
have chemistry in pairs, like Daredevil and Jessica Jones, and then the heroes.
I love the 2 of them; they were great together. Daredevil and Jessica.
Shut up, I'm your attorney.
Yeah, so good.
But and then Game of Thrones, we got to get your thoughts on the fact that our insider was right 9 months ago. We called that exact scene.
Zombie Dragon.
We called that literally like we could have blocked that entire shit. I went back on Tuesday's episode and like listened to it before we went on. We literally called them having to go out and catch a White Walker to prove it to her, them freaking getting caught, her having to come rescue them,
which
and
I still think is a pretty terrible plan.
What?
That was their plan to get Cersei to go along with them.
No, it's obvious that Cersei doesn't give 2 craps, but
she's not going to.
It doesn't give 2 craps,
and we'll probably see that tonight when the episode leaks because
it's already leaked. I watched it earlier.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it good?
It's insanely good, and it's feature length. It's 90 minutes. Yeah.
Shoot.
And next season's episodes will all be 90 minutes to 2 hours.
I've been going through like this really, really, really strong Game of Thrones phase right now.
Dude,
I just started reading the books from the first book, and I just started the series again from the first episode yesterday.
I'm just happy to know that our insider was right, and he goes back to start filming the final season in October, so we can look forward to more tips from that. I would spoil the hell out of the finale, but I can't do that. All I will say is there's a huge death.
So good. It's just the only thing that bothered me was like the apparent time travel, but I mean that's just a common gripe with that show these days.
Have you heard the theory that Bran's the Night King?
Yes.
And I actually buy into it.
And like that's why he's not killing Jon.
And then it goes back in time. He goes back and tries to tell Ares about everything and drives him insane. That's why he tells him to build him up. Then he goes back even further, and he's Bran the Builder that builds the wall. And then he goes back to try to stop them to do it, and when he somehow wargs into the dude that becomes the Night King, and that's why the Night King can see him in his visions.
And that's also like part of that theory is why the Night King has had so many opportunities to kill Jon and never does.
Really, really.
Or cool how stuff. He knew the Night King knew they were coming. They brought 3 spears and 2 swords, so there's 2 people that are Targaryens. What about the thoughts?
I like the cool little revolution.
The dragons.
That if you kill a white, anyone he's turned.
Yeah,
goes down as well.
It's not just a white. It's when you kill the
White Walker.
Kill the White Walker.
Okay, so the white is the army of the dead. The White Walkers are the
White Walkers are like the things they call them the others in the books.
Yeah.
And then the Night King is like the first. He turned all of them. So if you kill the Night King,
he's the one that the Children of the Forest made.
Yes. Yeah. So according to their theory, if you kill the Night King, they all die.
So rest in peace to Viserion. It was sad to see him go, but I cannot wait to see him come back breathing blue fire.
Oh,
really excited for that. Now, my prediction, and this is not me leading anything like that, my prediction going into this is that Jaime kills Cersei. Thoughts on that?
That's exactly what I think.
He's
the one who slays Mad Kings.
Well, I think that not only have we seen like the turn of Jamie becoming the good guy. It's my favorite redemption story I've ever seen, but also him seeing the dragons at the loot train raid in a couple episodes ago.
He's like,
if she chooses to use them,
this is ridiculous,
and it's insane. And I think once he sees the army of the dead as well, he's just gonna be like, "Yeah, man, this isn't right." So
it's like we're going. She's like, Cersei's going to be like, slay them, and
it's like burn them all. Again,
it's like burn them all, and it's like, no, executive decision.
Well, I mean, she's killed a lot of people.
I've also heard Jon's lineage being revealed by him being burned alive. But I don't really buy that, but they didn't show it. See, here's my whole thing, because I've been going back and rewatching the episodes. When the first whites attack them at the wall, he grabs a lantern from the maester and throws it to them. But they never showed that his hand was burned. Yeah. He just says, ow. So I'm wondering, because the whole thing with Targaryens not being able to be burned. So I'm interested in that, but they are going to hook up. So that what do you think that the two most prolific relationships in this show are now incest?
Sounds like Game of Thrones to me.
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
That's how I've always told people. Come for the incest, stay for the dragons.
Yeah, no. Unless it's a Mormon sister wives family, no.
Then, I mean, so cool to see Jorah Mormont and Samwell together. Like, Sam's my like dark horse hero of the show, but for him to cure Jorah, I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, one of the bright spots of the season has been Sam, because again, when we look at it, when he got there to the Citadel last season, it was all bright, and when you saw him leave, it was all dark. And it was because he was like, he's fed up. Is like, this is what he wanted, but he's like, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
Here.
And it's crazy if you go back to season 1, how long the White Walkers have been a threat. Like that chick that takes care of Bran and stuff like that. They were trying to escape from the White Walkers and stuff. But just incredible rewatching the show, some of the stuff that you pick up.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird how, I think it was at the birth of the dragons. That's when the Night King woke up, because it was like the rebirth of magic.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Because the idea is the whole point. The whole thing and again for the books is, and I'm sorry, I'm about to.
It's all right.
Is in terms of this, the whole point is nothing until Daenerys had that moment with that blood magic.
Magic was basically gone.
Magic was gone. It was
or different. It wasn't gone, but it was like it was weak.
It was weak, and now with her, when she did that, people's powers, like a lot of the people in the Essos were starting to get, and you saw that happening more and more at the wall, where it's like, oh, they're a threat, but they're like far off. But now they're feeling the power come back, and that's when. And
the wall is protected by all this ancient magic too. So I'm sure there's like a physical feeling just being there.
I've heard rumors there's an ice dragon in the wall.
I've heard that too. Yeah. So, or it's like part of the wall.
Here's my other thing. I just found out yesterday how badass Euron Greyjoy is in the books. I guess they've completely. Not only does he not look anything like he does in the books, but he has this horn that he took from the Warks that can tame a dragon.
Yeah.
Why does he not have that in the show?
Because
that would seem like a huge thing.
The whole thing was that in the books there was two things that they were concerned of. There was this called the Horn of Winter, which essentially that the wildlings were going to use to blow down the wall so they could cross. And then there was this one where the horn that Euron has, essentially, it's like if you blow it, you're dead.
Yeah.
You blow it.
But he drank some magic potion.
He drank something that made him so that it makes him impervious, because you blow that horn, you die. Like, people immediately die after that.
But you can take over control of a dragon.
And that's like, so that's when they talk about the other Greyjoy brother who you haven't gotten to. So out of the elder Greyjoy,
Balon. No, Balon's dead.
No, Balon's dead. But in the books, there's another one.
I haven't read the books. I should start.
There's another one who's on his way because he has to go. He's going to go see Daenerys. Because where Daenerys is, like where the show is and where the books are two different
far apart. Yeah.
Like my whole thing is like, when is it going to be found out that like those kids are kids of incest and that she has no claim to the throne? And just, like, it's insane to me that little bit of storyline.
None of it would have happened if Ned wasn't killed in the beginning.
Yeah. It's insane. Okay, you know who else has become my favorite character? Is Varys. I love that dude, because going back and watching, like, he really is just trying to protect the realm. Yeah, like, that's what he says to Eddard. He's like, I protect the realm, someone has to.
Yeah.
Like, just really love what they're doing with that, but it's nice to see all these storylines coming together. What are your thoughts on creepy Arya and creepy Bran now?
Creepy Bran, yeah.
Creepy Bran is creepy Bran. He's a tree.
Like, the whole thing with Sansa, you look so beautiful.
He's a tree man now. Yeah. But with Arya, I think she's playing a part right now. I think she like, since the moment she got there, she knew that Littlefinger was doing a thing, and as far as we know now, Littlefinger has the upper hand on Arya.
We think,
as far as we know,
as far as
the viewer knows.
I don't think,
but I think that Arya's just playing him. Like, she wants him to think he has the upper hand. Yeah. That's why she's. I mean, she doesn't say anything when she gives Sansa the dagger. She just hands it to her, but she's like talking smack to her the whole time, and then she hands her the dagger and leaves. I think that was kind of like her way of saying, you know, like, you're going to need this, and you need to be careful, and. You know.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see what they're doing with this, man. And the feature-length episodes, I think, are only going to be a benefit as these episodes have gone on. It's just you don't want to look away. You want that moment, which is something I haven't felt in the past couple seasons. So, really, really excited to see what they're doing with that. Moving on to some movie news. First of all, I just want to go ahead and say, screw you, James Cameron. Who do you think you are? Coming out with his comments against Wonder Woman that it set female filmmakers back 20 years and Hollywood's just patting themselves on the back for a mediocre movie at best. This is the dude that's making 4 Avatar sequels 15 years after anybody stopped caring about this movie.
What? It's 4 Avatar sequels, though, Chuck. Come on.
Oh, my God. Dances with Smurfs. How can I... But seriously, Wonder Woman was an incredible achievement for both, female-led superhero movie and a female-directed movie. It's the #1 female-directed movie of all time.
It's probably the best DC movie they've ever
made.
Best
DC movie that they've ever made. Incredible writing. Just an all-around great movie. And it's like, this is the dude that made Titanic. Yeah. Like, really? You made Titanic and 4 Avatar sequels.
The boat sank.
Who are you to come out and slam something like that?
He did make Terminator.
Okay. He did make Terminator, and that's his one. That's like the Dave Chappelle. He made Thriller.
It's like you made Aliens, one of my favorite movies of all time, and Terminator 2.
Terminator 2, I just resaw in 3D.
Yeah,
so good.
So, but the idea is like for me, he jumped the shark for me after Titanic. That was just.
I could not understand that movie at the time, and I still don't, why people would pay multiple times to see a movie where you knew it was going to happen. I felt like it was 3 hours building up to the ship going down.
And then
it's because everyone wanted to see Kate Winslet's tits.
Draw me like one of your French girls, Jack. I don't know why it sounded like a wildly.
Yeah, and like even outside, when you hear the stories that happened on that set of like his abuse towards the actors.
He just made that movie so he could go under the water and look at the Titanic.
Well, that's what he's been doing for like the last 20 years.
Screw him, man. Like, he's got no room to come out against that movie. If you want to talk crap against like Batman versus Superman or something, yeah, you know what I mean. But to say that it sets female filmmakers back, it's the exact opposite.
I mean, his ex-wife gave us The Hurt Locker.
Plus, also, he's not a female. You don't get a perspective on the female.
That's like me trying to talk about the black agenda.
Yeah, you don't get it.
Tell us about the black agenda,
Robert, Chuck. Tell me about white privilege.
I'll let you know when I have it.
Good luck there. We're being taken over by Nazis.
And so before we jump into movie news here, I have to talk about my Comic-Con story real quick. So for those of you that don't know, Boston Comic-Con just happened up here. And I was really, really excited because I was finally going to get my picture with Jay and Silent Bob, Jay Muse and Kevin Smith. That picture has eluded me at every show I've gone to. Anybody that watches the show knows how big of a fan I am. They're the whole reason I podcast, do movie reviews, everything. So I was really excited to just get my photo up with them. And then sure enough, I'm sitting there working my booth. Guy comes walking by. I'm like, holy crap, that's Jay. So I get Jay to come over. He takes a bunch of selfies with me. We give him a couple pieces and stuff like that. And I start talking to him, tell him how much he means, stuff like that. Got to have a cool conversation. He's like, are you going to the show tonight? I'm like, yeah. He goes, what's your name? I give him my name. Have no idea what he's going to do. I get to the show. He starts talking about me over the course of the show to everybody. I'm like, oh my God, he's talking about me. And then at the very end, he goes, where is that kid? I stand up like, oh my God, right here. He calls me up on stage to play Let Us, which is the game that they play on the Jay and Silent Bob podcast. But so I'm doing that. I get to do the whole thing with Jay, everything else like that. Then he lets me sit down and talk to Kevin. I'm literally sitting next to Kevin, the distance we are here at the table, and I got to podcast with him for the better part of about 20 minutes.
Nice.
Got to tell him like how much of my idol he was and stuff like that. Then he goes, do you have a camera? Whipped my camera out. I was literally shaking so bad I couldn't hold the camera myself, so he had to take it, took a bunch of selfies with me. So I got selfies with both of them at different points. He plugged the show for us again, and then I got stopped 166 times over the course of the weekend by people that were like, you're Chuck from the show, that was insane. I just kept losing my mind. I was like, this is my life right now. This is my life. And so cool, he offered me a walk-on extra part in Jay and Silent Bob Reboot if I can get down there in Philadelphia. nicest guy that I've ever met, but I literally got to, like, it's like a Christian meeting the Pope. I got to tell him how much he meant to us. It was so cool that he plugged the show again. A bunch of people came up to us and asked us where they can find it and stuff. But just the greatest night of my life. I literally, like, I thought just getting that photo was going to be cool enough, but then to get selfies with both of them and get to podcast with them, like,
pretty awesome.
Oh my God, man.
Well, thank you, Mr. Kevin Smith.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Like, I know you're not watching this, but who cares? Like, anyone that was at that show is obviously, there's 1,000 people that were in the room and they're going to listen to those podcasts now have heard us and have heard about the show, and it's just absolutely incredible. I cannot believe that happened to me. So from now on, you're only going to hear me talking about, like, sponsored by Kevin Smith. But moving into some movie news, we have a ton of DC news to get into. So we'll start.
None of it's good, folks.
Actually, no. The weekly news is good. You heard about Katie Sackhoff cast on The Flash?
No.
Yeah, she's going to be a villain on The Flash.
Who?
That's the question. It's like some B-lister. Like
It is like a random. It's like a random.
But it's a recurring role, so it'll be interesting to see what they do that. But we also did announce that we're getting 2 mini crossovers with The Flash this year. So Felicity is going to be coming over for a mini Arrow crossover. And then the promo revealed today is a Legends of Tomorrow crossover.
Nice.
And that actually looks really good. We got to see Barry in the new suit and his Flash ring. So that was, yes, the Flash ring is real.
So Barry's basically back after the first episode, bro.
The episode 1 is their take on DC's rebirth.
Okay.
He's been gone 6 months, and they just not everybody wants to get him out. And when he comes out, he's basically lived his life over like infinity times. He comes out. They're saying he's coming out closer to the comic book Barry. He's wiser, smarter. He's not going to have the baggage that's been dragging him down. They're saying it's going to get more to season 1, like the fun of the Flash. But it's going to be a different take on Barry, which is really exciting. We're also getting a new Wells. We're getting the Elongated Man, which we called months ago.
Also, I just love the Elongated Man.
Elongated Days and Night is the name of the episode that he debuts in. So really excited to see what they're doing that. But now we have to move over to the sadder news, and that is in the DC film side of things. Which, first of all, a little bit of a bright spot. We did get the trailer for Gotham by Gaslight, which is the next DC animated movie. Looking forward to that one. But a whole ton of debacle around the Batman movie this week. So we're going to tell you what's been updated as of now. So rumors came out this week that not only would the Batman not be set in the DC universe, it would feature a different actor other than Batman. Now, this we'll get into in a little bit when we talk about the Joker movie, but the reason being is basically DC is launching an Elseworlds label with their movies where they can tell stories.
Which I think is just the dumbest thing they could be doing.
I actually think that they could do some cool stuff with it because I like the idea of just being able to cast a different actor and some stuff. With Flashpoint, I think it kind of lends itself to that. So, interesting to see what they do with that. But, so we get rumors that it's not going to be set in the DCU, that Affleck's out as Batman. Tons of people start reporting it. It goes everywhere. Then Matt Reeves came out and said that the reason why he said that it's a standalone movie, not part of the DCU, meaning that it's just a Batman-centric story, that it doesn't involve Superman and Batman, stuff like that. So it's in the DCU, it's just not, if people misread his comments. Then it was the whole thing of, oh, Affleck's not back and this and that. From what I've heard from all my people, Affleck wants out as Batman, but he's willing to do 1 to 3 movies. His goal is to get them to a point where they can do Batman Beyond as the 3rd movie, and then replace him. So every bit of reporting that says Affleck's not in this movie, I can't find any shred of comments that. Matt Reeves came out on Twitter, said Affleck's in this movie, and it's just in the DCU, just not being involving the other characters, which that's totally fine. I just don't understand how it got twisted to this point. But I want to just talk about what are your thoughts on these Elseworld tales, because they did announce a Joker origin movie, and it's not going to be Jared Leto.
See, this is the problem. I understand you want to use your properties, your IPs to the best of your ability, and you want to tell those, Infinite Crisis type tales, but the movie audience is not ready for that, and I think it's going to waste your time and your money, and you're going to just raise more of our ire.
I agree.
I honestly think it's a matter of them not being able to get the actors.
The common consumer, I'm not talking about guys like us that read comics and know these characters' parents' names, you know what I mean? The common yeah, exactly. The common moviegoer will see a Joker in Suicide Squad and a different Joker in this movie and go, but what happened?
And then Jared Leto's going to be in Suicide Squad too.
Yeah, so
and the Joker and Harley Quinn movie.
It's that old trope where you see the movie executive go, "Oh, the audiences won't get it. It'll be too confusing to the audiences."
I personally think
but
that
it's
you need,
true.
Well, they haven't named this new label yet that they're going to be releasing these movies. So I think that you have to call it Elseworlds.
It has
and
to
if
be.
you go into that with the expectation of Joker and Elseworlds story, like how Rogue One was a Star Wars story.
Yeah.
If you go into it knowing that there's some pretty
And
good
I
Elseworlds
can
tales.
guarantee
Imagine a
you-
Speeding Bullets movie.
But I don't want to see a Joker origin story.
I don't.
I don't care about the Joker origin story. I am excited to see the Joker and Harley Quinn movie has replaced Gotham City Sirens.
I'm not happy about that. I was actually honestly looking forward to a Gotham City, because that. If the casting is right, that would be great, and especially with Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. If you get your Poison Ivy and Catwoman right, you have me sold.
Speaking of casting, we can expect an official announcement sometime in the coming weeks because Shazam is set to film December 1st. So.
Okay, finally, The Rock gets to play Black Adam.
Yeah.
No, he's not in it. No.
What? Is that even in
They
it?
confirmed that months ago. Yeah, he's not in
That
it. He's
is
the villain
so
of Man of Steel
stupid.
too. And then he's going to... So basically they're doing... Every report that says that he's going to be the villain of Man of Steel 2. Then he's going to have his own Black Adam origin movie.
Boo.
Then the Shazam movie is going to come out. And then Shazam's sequel will be him against Black Adam.
Too much.
It doesn't make sense to me, but I like
Too
the idea
much.
of Shazam. First of all, and they're doing the crippled Billy Batson, where he's in a wheelchair when he's not Shazam.
Okay.
Which I really like that. But this is going to be their most fun, light-toned movie that they've ever done, and this is going to be the
Sounds
first
fun.
quote-unquote
Crippled kid.
standalone. We also did get some spoilers. The Justice League soundtrack, title tracks were released, and there's a title of a song on there called Unite the Seven, which is the old tagline before they called it Unite the League. If you remember, when Justice League first started marketing, it was the Aquaman poster with the Unite the Seven. Then they did the special number, and then they changed it to Unite the League. Mm-hmm. Now it has it on there, so it's going to be Green Lantern. We are getting a Green Lantern.
Unless it's
Shazam.
who deserves to be on the Justice League, Plastic Man.
Oh, come on. You're going to give me Cyborg?
Plastic Man. Over Cyborg every time.
Also, we got the Aquaman budget was revealed to be $165 million.
That seems a little low.
That seems insanely high to me.
No, for me that
Seems
seems
really high.
Wonder Woman was made for 110.
Yeah, Wonder Woman was made for 110 million.
But it's on land.
But the idea is you have water effects, and I think with the CG alone, that should
The water effects are going to be unlike anything we've ever seen.
it's like, and I'm thinking 160 is probably cutting it. It's like that's 200.
Yeah, but then you throw another 100 in for marketing. Right?
Yeah, so it's like that just seems a little bit of a low budget for me. When you look at it, it's like, with the aqua effects alone and some of the practical CG that you're going to be trying to do for this, because unless it's going to be on, this entire film is not going to be on land. So how do you do those water sets? Now you're talking about training, green screen.
Oh, they're doing it now. That movie's knee deep in filming, and apparently, the way that they're doing these underwater scenes are insanely difficult to film.
Yeah, so 160. Yeah, that just doesn't make sense to me.
But we'll see what they do with it. I mean, I'm excited to see these movies regardless. But moving on to a little bit of the Marvel side, the first reactions to Runaways have hit. I've actually seen the first 3 episodes. That is insanely good. That's one of my favorite Marvel properties of all time. I will hold the first volume of Runaways up to any Marvel comic that's ever
Brian
been
K.
published.
Vaughan?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like the first one where the whole story on them finding out their parents are evil and having to deal with that.
Yep.
Later series got insane, but Hulu's going to be putting that out, so really excited to see that, and that'll be coming out in late November.
Did The Tick come out yet?
It did. I was starting the first couple episodes of that
I
before I
watched
came
the
here.
pilot and I really liked it.
I didn't. I'm not a
Really?
fan. I think it's too campy.
Oh, that's so Tick though.
I like the cartoon from the 90s. That was the one for me.
Cartoon was good. I used to read the comics when I was a kid, and the new series felt a lot like the comics because it was less slapsticky and more just like situational humor, like the books were. Mm-hmm. And I always felt like the Patrick Warburton version was like basically the cartoon, and the cartoon was just like off the walls bananas.
Yeah, but it was like that was the only way that some of the things where the Tick would have gotten on air if they didn't do it.
So the real question is, when do we get a Freakazoid movie?
That they have tried.
Really?
They have tried. They're as they're trying to reboot the Animaniacs and those kinds of stories. Freakazoid has come up several times,
Because Freakazoid was pretty awesome.
but it's along the lines of Deadpool, and the idea is how do you get past audiences? And this is the problem where you think about that's a little too kooky or non-real. Who are these Hollywood execs to judge what an audience thinks is good for them? It's give us what we want, we'll buy it. And he was like, And next thing you know, we have R-rated superhero movies.
And moving on to the crappy Marvel movie side of things, Fox has to get a Fantastic Four movie rolling, or rights become an issue. And as we reported here a couple weeks ago, they're trying to go kid-centric with this one. And now rumors out this week that the kid-centric Fantastic Four movie that we're going to be getting is going to be an adaptation of a Mark Millar story called Kindergarten Hero.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That's what we're going to be getting.
Mark
Cinematic
Millar.
abortions. What about Netflix buying Millar World? So we're going to be getting kick-ass movies and shows. And
I hate it.
Ugh.
I hate Mark Millar. I think he's one of the
Didn't he
worst
have
writers
something to do
of
with
comic books.
Kingsman, though?
He did the Secret Service. That's
Okay.
Kingsman. I like his concepts. It's great concepts, but he only writes for movies. Like, he writes his books to be made into movies. He had Kick-Ass becoming a movie before it was halfway done.
Kick-Ass 2 was so disappointing
When he did
to me.
his time traveler story, I forget what it was
Chrononauts?
called. Chrononauts. One issue came out and they announced a movie that day. Same thing happened with Kingsman. Same thing happened with Huck.
With
Same thing
Damon.
happened with Jupiter's Legacy. It's just like, dude,
Dayman's another
finish
one
your
of his.
stories before you make a movie, because you don't know if anybody's going to like it.
Damon,
And
though,
most
I'm
of the time,
looking
no
forward
one
to
likes
that movie.
him.
Do you know anything about Damon? So it's
No.
about the dudes that have to do vampires' business because they can't come out during the day. So it's really interesting story, but that one got brought up immediately after issue 1 came out.
I mean, I'm hoping they'll just make a bunch of stuff over at Netflix and see what sticks. I would love to see Jupiter's Legacy if they do
Have
it
you
right.
guys seen the previews for Bright yet?
Yes.
Will Smith and Joel Edgerton? First of all, I didn't know Max Landis wrote that.
Yeah.
That movie, I got to see a 15-minute...
You know that's like Guillermo del Toro is doing a lot of that stuff.
Oh, yeah, but I got to see 15 minutes of this movie. Dude, this might be one of the best... And it's not even a superhero movie. Insanely well made. Like, it's Dark Knight level of gritty and realism, but then it's got, like, some campy Guardians of the Galaxy style moments, but it is so serious. Like, I got to see the whole scene where they find the person with the magic wand.
Yeah.
Dude, it is no joke. Like, those magic wands can do some serious stuff. So it's basically, they find this dude with the magic wand, and then they have to basically get out of the city alive, because every person of every race wants them, because this magic wand can do so much crazy stuff. So they have
It's
their
like the
own cops
Warriors.
coming after them. The orcs, the elves, everybody's coming.
It's like it's like for this, and I think I mentioned this before.
Imagine Lord of the Rings and Dark Knight.
Yeah,
had a baby.
Dark Knight. But even outside of that, if you remember the film in the '80s called Alien Nation, it starts out the partnership with that, because like it's like Mandy Patinkin and some other actor that I can't remember, but it's like Alien Nation, where you have these whole or kind of District 9 type situation where you have people that are paired up that really shouldn't be together, but I think more of the alienation because it's a cop.
There's also cool stuff here because Joel Edgerton's the first ever orc police officer
Yeah.
too, so like he's dealing with all kinds of crap from that, and Will Smith's resentful against him at first like that. But I mean, the 15 minutes I saw, the CGI is incredible. It's Netflix's first $100 million movie.
Nice.
So insane. It comes out Christmas Day on Netflix. I'm like, I have a tradition I've always had where I go to the movies on Christmas Day. Just always done it.
I do the same
It's
thing.
one of the most popular movie days of the year.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, man, my Christmas movie this year I think was Pitch Perfect 3. So I was like, screw that, man. I am all about staying home and watching Bright. And then, of course, Last Jedi will be out. So we're looking forward to that one. And then, yeah, I think other than that...
Max Landis, I feel like Max Landis is such a tool, but he's a really awesome writer.
Dude, have you heard him pitch certain movies? Like,
He's great,
Like if
his Gremlins?
but he sucks. I just hate looking at him.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just
Well,
listening to him talk. Such a tool.
Because it's all right. So like, if you look at his YouTube channel, the stuff he's Superman Must Die, because that, I mean, because of that, we have Foggy Nelson, that guy of that character, Foggy Nelson, that actor whose name is now escaping me.
Mighty Ducks kid.
Is that? But wrestling isn't wrestling. If you've ever watched that on his YouTube channel,
Yeah, I've seen all his videos.
yeah, wrestling isn't wrestling is by far one of the best things, because he explains it. And he's like, it's like one of those things where he actually wrote for the WWE for like a little, like he pitched some stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did. Because he's a huge fan.
His Chronicle 2 would have been one of the most amazing movies ever
Right?
made. It would,
Yeah,
would
he,
have
like,
been the origin of the world's first supervillain. But dude, I heard him pitch Gremlins like 3 days ago. He
Nailed
pitches
it.
it as a found footage movie of this girl that gets 2 mogwais for Christmas and stuff like that. And like the first half of the movie's all cute and stuff. Then obviously they get wet. But he's like, in the third act of the movie, the Gremlins get the camera and they think it's basically all being told to them. But dude, it sounded. I don't like Gremlins. Like that's not one of my movies or something like that. I want to
love
see his
Gremlins.
version of Gremlins, dude. He also
Right?
he pitched a Scooby Doo movie.
Yeah.
insane.
His Superman dies, or Death
Have
of
you
Superman.
American
so
American
good.
Alien? Have you read that series?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Insane. He basically retold Superman's origin over the course of 7 issues, like from the time he's a kid to did this whole issue where he impersonates Bruce Wayne on a yacht and like hooks up with chicks.
Because no one's seen Bruce Wayne in 10 years, so they're all just like, "Oh, you must be Bruce Wayne." He's like, "Yeah, that's me."
Insane. And then like you get to see the proto version of the suit with goggles and stuff. Like the dude knows his stuff, but I'm telling you, Chronicle 2 is one of the movies I've ever seen that didn't get made. And I just have to touch on this because I didn't get to say it in the Tuesday episode. The synopsis for Glass is out, the Unbreakable and Split sequel.
Let's hear it, Chuck.
And this is verbatim, I have it in my head. So David Dunn pursues James McAvoy's character, the Beast, over a series of escalating encounters while Elijah Price emerges with information key to both men.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that starts filming next week. I cannot wait. I don't think that there's a movie other than Justice League that I am more hyped for, because I have never lost my mind more in a theater than I did in the final scene of Split. It's on Facebook. I had come out of a screening of that and I've never ever been that excited. But this movie is going to be insane, because I'll hold Unbreakable up as one of the greatest superhero movies ever made. Yeah. And the biggest question from that movie was, is he bulletproof? Which, as we now know from Split, that they are. So I'm really excited to do that. In Split, he takes 3 shotgun blasts at point-blank range and doesn't have a scratch on him.
Huh.
So really, really excited for that movie. That comes out next January. But then into our poll of the week, which I actually have a delicious one this week, Rick and Morty. I've been reading the Rick and Morty comics, and they have a new one that just came out called Drive It Like You Stole It, and it is so good. Like that, the writing is incredible because it's the same people that write the show.
Yeah, they're sanctioned and everything. Yeah. So
insanely well made. So definitely check those out. But Anthony, we look forward to your poll every week. Tell us about it.
It's a new series that I wasn't expecting, and I never heard anything about it, so I picked it up and I really loved it. It was Nightwing: The Dark Order. It's a new miniseries written by Tim Seeley. It's a 12-issue arc, I think. But it starts off with most of the Justice League dead and Dick Grayson standing over them with a gun. And then it jumps to the future where Dick is the head of the police and superpowers are illegal. And everyone that has superpowers has to take this medicine that inhibits your powers. And the whole first issue is just him chasing Dr. Light because Dr. Light's off his meds, so his powers are back. And it's basically him trying to teach his son why he thinks superpowers are bad. And then there's like a twist ending at the end where it kind of shatters everything. But there's a lot of mystery. Where'd Batman go? Is he dead? Who is the kid's mother? Is it Barbara Gordon? Is it somebody else? Is it his girlfriend who's his girlfriend in the comics currently? All the superheroes are basically gone. The only ones that the power inhibitors don't work on are missing, and no one knows where they are. It's really cool stuff, and it was out of left field. I didn't even see that book coming, but it's an Elseworlds tale.
I can actually break a little bit of news here that I can't believe I forgot when we did the CW section from the Kevin Smith show. I know who the villain of Arrow Season 6 is, or 5, whatever it is. Onomatopoeia.
Kevin Smith villain
from the Batman Widening Gyre, and
that's going to be the main villain.
He's not going to be. He's going to be one of the villains, but really, really excited because he's one of Arrow's best villains, in my opinion. If you've ever, I know you probably haven't, but I can lend it to you if you want. Kevin Smith did this really cool run on Arrow where he introduces this character Onomatopoeia that is like a hero killer. He collects trophies and stuff like that.
He brought Green Arrow back from the brink of nothingness.
And I've never been a Green Arrow guy, so exciting to see what they do with that. But he's actually up in Canada right now directing his Supergirl episode, so. Really, really excited to get the CW shows back October 9th. And now that we're going to be doing the 2-night, we'll be able to hit this up every Friday. So it's going to be Arrow and Supergirl on Mondays, Legends and Flash on Tuesdays, and then starting in January, Black Lightning on Wednesdays.
Oh, really? Yep. They moved Arrow too?
Yep. Yeah, Arrow's after Supergirl now.
Oh, weird.
I actually am happy with that.
I like it. I like the back-to-back hours.
Because that way, it kind of, if you're going to double down on this, like, if I can understand why they did it, because if you're going to double down or triple down on the superhero stuff, spreading them across nights kind of takes it up if you need to put more superhero shows.
Did you see the Eclipse news, too, by the way?
So, Hiro Nakamura again, time travel.
Oh, dude, first of all, I really thought I was going to get powers. Like, I was talking to Eva, I'm like, this is the first total eclipse since I was born. This is how it happened on Heroes. I can't believe it. It's going to happen. Didn't get powers. But
I didn't think you would.
The date of the next total solar eclipse
is 2024.
Is April 25th, 2024, the day Flash goes missing in Crisis.
Nice.
So that's really cool, and they're hoping that they'll still be on by then, and they're going to do it. But this year's crossover, now that those nights are shut, is going to be a true 4-episode crossover, and we're really, really excited to see what they're going to be doing.
Sure, because that's what they said last time.
They said that they screwed up last time by doing that. It is a true 4-episode crossover. I don't know
why they would even say that it was a 4-episode crossover. Like, why would you even?
Well, if you buy the DVD, it doesn't come with Supergirl on it.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah,
it's unnecessary. Yeah. Like, they did cast Starfire for the Titans TV
show. Which they finally got right, and then they cast Raven as well the week before.
Who's
She's
Starfire?
A little kid.
Black chick, Anna Dorn.
I think that's it.
Diop. Anna Diop. That's what it is.
Let's look her up. Look it up, Tony. Look it up.
I know that last name's Diop for sure.
Anna
Diop.
Yeah, there it is. This chick is going to play Starfire. She's going to be in her early 20s.
Okay.
Which I dig. I don't think the Titan show is going to go anywhere because it's not on the CW. But
I hope it does. Well, they're launching their own streaming service.
Andrew Kreisberg's trying to pitch a Booster Gold show to CW.
I know. He's been trying for years.
Yeah, that's his favorite hero.
That was the first show they pitched, and it got picked up at Sci-Fi.
Well, I guess he said it's come back, because they're going in their script of, like,
they already have Rip Hunter.
You could totally do it. I would love to see a Booster Gold show with them. If they can do Black Lightning,
they don't even need to make a Booster Gold show. Just put him on Legends.
Oh my God!
He's a time traveler. He's the one who founds the Time Masters.
Oh my God, that's brilliant,
dude. He is Rip Hunter's son. Or no, Rip Hunter is Booster's son. Rip Hunter in the comics is the world's first Time Master, and
they say
Booster
that in the Flash,
Gold is the one who started the Time Masters.
And this whole season of Legends is Rip starting his own version of the Time Masters.
See what I'm saying?
Oh my God, that's too brilliant.
It's ridiculous.
So, yeah, I think that's going to wrap things up for this week. Any last words, guys, on 50 episodes to get your geek on?
Why are you still watching
us?
Really. And thank you to all the new people that are joining us because of Kevin Smith. So look forward to joining us every week on YouTube and Facebook. And we cannot wait for the CW shows to get into full swing. That's when you'll see what this show really is. So for this week's episode of the Get Your Geek On podcast, again, thank you for being with us for 50 episodes. Make sure you check us out on our official page, the Nerd Herder Facebook page. But I've been Chuck Kiwas.
I'm Robert Dokes.
Anthony Arsenio.
And you guys have a week.